Hey, welcome to Sapphire Ridge News. So, our topic today, where did I put it at? Hold on, I will be right back. And I've covered Zelenskyy before and the whole Ukraine thing, and it's about time that somebody puts that disrespectful jerk in his place because Zelenskyy does not care about peace. He wants this war to go on forever. His ideals of war is ludicrous. He thinks that he can demand that Russia leave Crimea, the Donbass, in all these areas that Russia has basically invaded and taken over for years. And it come out earlier this week that Zelensky does not even have control of all of his military, that his military is made up of separate factions, and that each faction has, or they call them militias, that each militia has its own leader, and that they are not accountable to Zelensky. Zelensky can say, well, I want you to stop. And if the leader says, no, I'm not stopping, well, then what's the point of us helping them when their military is going to be like, oh, well, we don't care. Say what you want. But that's just ludicrous to have your military not under your central control. Have it split up in different militias, which each militia has their own leader, and each leader is responsible to no one. That's crazy. I'm a veteran. I know about, you know, military chain of command. If their chain of command is persona non grata, then what's the absolute use of us helping them, period? Because their their military needs to be under one leader, and it's not. The president of Ukraine is not have control of his military. And it also came out that the second Trump assassin shooter had had ties to Ukraine, was helping build the Ukraine militias. and that he was getting his weapons from them to go and unalive President Trump. This is just crazy that we have Democrats that want to help them. This is absurd. In the beginning, I supported the Ukraine war. I'm not going to lie. I did support it because, I believe no country has the right to just invade another country over nothing. And that's what it amounts to that Putin did. And some people try to say, well, it's all about Ukraine joining NATO and that Putin doesn't want a NATO country on his border, blah, blah, blah. But when you look at what has happened, 3 countries on Ukraine's border that were always neutral have joined NATO. Zelenskyy, however, wants to make a condition of his ceasefire that he be allowed to immediately join NATO. Which, if he joins NATO and he declares Article 5 of NATO, then that puts our troops on the ground. Because if any NATO country declares Article 5 that says an attack on one is an attack on all, and we will defend them, then that means that our troops get sent. And I am not for that at all. No way. Because this has been going on for 3 years now. And we have a president that wants to bring it to a close. And one of the leaders, Zelenskyy, doesn't want it to end. I just don't get that. Why would you not want war to end? According to reports I've read, thousands of his soldiers are getting killed a week. I should say unalived, but thousands a week. He's got, instead of draft, they call it conscript. And he has conscript vans that drive around in the cities, and they grab young men, pull them in the van, and drive off with them, and they end up in the military. This is just crazy that we have Democrats that support this. So that's what I got for y'all today. No stream tomorrow. We'll start up again on Monday. Talk to you soon. Bye.